In Search of a Pessimist. Collected Poems by Alfred Vassallo, from the book of the same name. Illusion of love sustained. I had this extraordinary illusion. She was part of my complex story, which made me very disheartened. It was cruel, beastly, and full of fury. Before I go completely mad, I held myself together tight, even though I woke up screaming, 'cause she vanished out of sight. As I was sitting all alone, I felt her sitting on my knees, feeling her warm breath on my neck, like a warm, lovely summer breeze. I'd trusted completely in this illusion. With all the might of my belief, I kept feeling her presence close by. She was giving me a sigh of relief. I consoled myself with a kiss in void, as though I was kissing her lovely face. I felt her wet lips and her gripping tongue, her shining skin of a body so full of grace. I will stay with her spirit as long as I can. Why the hell should I be afraid? Is she a ghost? Afraid of what might be or will be? She might reject me and I will be completely lost. I will not stop believing in her spirit, even though she'd be alive and kicking, and since she's only the ghost of the past, I pretend that her body I'm holding and kissing. I haven't a clue what to expect from this illusion. I haven't a clue if what comes next is a fact. I haven't a clue where and when she again appears. One thing I know for sure: she'll be back. Ego sum key sum. I am a crook. I have taken something which doesn't belong to me. I took her in my arms, kissed her with passionate love, slept with her even though she belonged to somebody else. I am a brigand, a plunderer, who stole the love I was given to cherish, from within my heart, and gave it to the devil. I am a reckless person, who had everything that a man would want, and in a moment of madness, I crushed it all underfoot. I am a gangster, for with my own mind, manipulates women lovingly, but cunningly seduces them. I am a gunman, who shoots unwanted thoughts, and tries to survive, by not thinking at all, under a bulletproof existence. I am a highwayman, who travels very fast into oblivion, consuming alcohol, as if it was holy water. I am a hijacker. I kidnapped my own conscience, because I won't give it a chance to control me. I am a marauder, wandering about trying to find peace, which I have lost a long time ago. I am an outlaw, a fugitive from the awful truth. The same truth that mingles instantly with my sorry feelings. I am an awful pirate, who places black patches on both my eyes, so I do not see how much I hurt the people who love me most. I am a racketeer, not for profit or possession, but for pure love, who engages myself to extract the goodness from warm loving women. I am a skillful robber, so skillful that in a blink of an eye, I can seduce a lady from the arms of her lover. I am a thief, who robs hearts and love, which don't belong to me. I am an appalling, despicable bandit. I am a man who cannot be trusted. Vobisant. You are the hoodlum, a petty criminal, a hood smoking dope, drinking from a bottle of sherry. You are the hoodlum without hope. You are the hooligan, associated mostly with football fans plotting and planning their strategies to attack, humiliate and destroy. You are the hooligan causing tragedies. You are the lout, a crude and oafish teenager, playing rough and pretending he's untouchable. You are the lout intensifying. You are the roughneck, a violent youth, a vicious thug who attacks old people for a few pence. You are the roughneck uncontrolled. You are the rowdy youth, who tends to create noisy disturbances, loud music with open wide windows, with disorderly behavior. You are the youth which unexpectedly inflows. You are the ruffian, a lawless fucking youth. You are the thug, a very despicable violent fucking person. You are surely without remorse, a crude and brutish always worsen, who are obscenely coarse. You are the fucking junk that roams our street, and should be put away, where no one can suffer any more from your malicious vicious decay. You are one of the fucking bastards that gang together, bullying only the weaker ones, manipulating the tradition, because in truth, you are cowardly and frightened shitless youth. Have you ever seen the debris left by these disgusting hooligans, whose only purpose in their stinking life is to cause destruction and damnation? You are the fucker of all fuckers that gets drunk on a bottle of cider, becoming the disease of the nation. Any of these characters rings a bell? Do you like to meet them face to face? Maybe you've already had the pleasure? I can go on and on and on. The titles I could give to the abnormal is infinitive, but for now I let you have a breather. SHE is next and will not be passive. You are a human being, you are forgiven, not everyone agreeing. EST. She is immature, undeveloped and inexperienced, battling the constant growing pains, neuralgic agonies in the limbs, while her focus she sustains. She is an adult, with all the gracious looks, or so she thinks, examining all possible situations, hoping she gets the flirts and the winks. She is in her prime, married with a family, though the promiscuity has gone, she seeks adventures here and there, to a sexual encounter she is drawn. She is livid, full of unwanted anxiety, playing havoc are the hormones and menopause, overly distressed and miserable, her social rejection is without cause. She is old, but not out of date, some wrinkles are showing, but not for the worse. Lipstick and makeup do the covering. She doesn't give up, she's a woman. The Never Never Land. Floating in the never, never land of dreams, horrible and exhausting, gazing at the little specks of light, reflecting my preoccupied eyes, that move, like when a stone is dropped into troubled water. Fluctuating in the never, never land of illusions, indelicate and suspended hallucinations, the rough feelings of the obscure eyes, that occasionally accompanied by sharp delusions, smeared only by the instability of my misjudged beliefs. Detached from the never, never land of truth, isolated from recognizing the reality that exists only in an indifferent state, distant and disconnected from identifying the true meaning of my nightmarish life, in detail. Moving into the never, never land of obliviousness, lacking all the knowledge of all the facts that surround my living truths, which are forbidding, dismal, antagonistic, and adverse to my nature. Hovering, up and up, where the never, never land meets the passage of time, that is so ambiguous, to reach the innermost of my unstable mind. Will I ever be free from the never, never land of my sorrows? Dominating the uncontrolled disappointments, the regrets of past decisions, mourning the time lost, and unfulfilled love. Balanced will be my heart, when I finally reach my destination, in the heart of the never, never land. Flexible will be my mind, inconstant, capricious in my natural ambience, likely to change, especially in my affections, intentions, loyalties, my obsessive preferences. Hanging by a thread are my emotions, situated in the never, never land, in the midst of darkness, resilient to any danger of capitulation. Admission of defeat was never in my disposition, and it will never be. Irrepressible will be my behavior, not out of control. I will keep my temperament safely regulated, to keep my solitude in harmonious state, where I shall live my entire existence, in the never, neverland of my life. Silent night. Silent night, a dreadful night, broken by the crying for help. All is saddened and all is cursed, the sky ablaze, the aeroplane burst, all passengers dead, no time to yelp. Dictators sleeps in their distasteful peace, terrorists proud with their carnage masterpiece. Silent night, an appalling night, interrupted by piercing screams, soldiers battle the vigor of war, cries of pain from stricken mothers, mingled with whimpers of blood streams. Hitler from Satan's sperm was born, Bin Laden the brute eventually forlorn. Silent night, horrendous night, radiant tears from children's face, scurrying away from burning debris, some will survive, others shall die, bombs exploding on their arresting grace. The miracle of technology realized, the miracle by killing machines justified. Doreen. In acrostic form. Doreen, who robbed my love years ago, outwon my life and enslaved me indefinitely, restraining my heart and soul in living hell, endlessly waiting to be incarcerated perpetually. Eternally impounding my compassionate adoration, negatively jailing my feelings of exaltation. When I'm alone, I shall shout, like an angry man, I will swear, I will curse like hell. This is my way, my style, my life. I am wrong, but I know damn well. I live like a simple, ordinary man, but I am the devil, in disguise, pretending to be someone I'm not. I know, this too comes as a surprise. I know, I'm sure what I really am, though life keeps me healthy and strong, even though I'll do what pleases me most, joining the devil's angels all night long. I am a man, with two different faces, one is so evil, the other awfully good. The good is always weak and fragile, while the evil creates havoc as it should. The evil character must be admired, it persuades me that the false is true. My heart pleads heavily with the good side, honestly, does not know what to do. When you are honest, half the battle is won. Help me get rid of this evil being, so that once again I shall shine like the sun. I remember, when an altar boy I was, assisting the priest during the service, I used to pray to become like him, but my dreams were thrown into a furnace. I wish I could, to dramatic my cat. I wish I'd give more treats for grubs, extra smooth and ticklish belly rubs, additional visits to your favorite vet, because you are my exceptional pet. I'll get rid of those nasty evil fleas, making you most beautiful like a Siamese. I shall make you the best prize fighter, your cat's life will be even more brighter. Endure to survive. I looked, I did not see, I listened, I didn't hear, I spoke without a word, I was in despair. I know I did not assume, this was not my contemplation, an awkward condition to be in. I had to go into rumination. I was living, so I understood, in a state of absolute dire, blood sucked and veins flowed. I was a roaming vampire. I walked with the UN dead, searching endlessly for nutrition, in the dark streets and alleyways, without restraint or condition. I looked, I saw veins of blood, I listened, I heard their cries, I spoke to ease their pains. Life twinges before it dies. I am a parasite, a bloodsucker of some sort, something not to be proud of, but one must live in comfort. I'm dead yet I'm alive, I have to endure to survive. The great pessimist, show me a vital trick or two. I need to acquire some knowledge, so that in an wink of the eye, I'll change a rabbit into a partridge. I will change pebbles into sand, in front of you on my right hand. If you think I'm out of my mind, I say that you are being unkind. The partridge laid an egg on the sand, as it turned round and round. With its beak it hoed a deep hole, hiding the fresh egg underground. Hocus pocus danters talenters, the egg hatched and a robin flew away. The partridge transformed into a mouse, that squeaked with pleasure running to play. Now that I got the experience, I shall do a trick like Houdini. I'll create a dramatic escape pact, from a large cauldron full of zucchini. But for my piece de resistance, I will gather all the world's nuclear bombs. I will call hocus pocus danters talenters, and I will turn them into garden gnomes. Ecce homo. There he was, staring me in the eyes, gawking at me intensely, in defiance, while I was in compliance. "Behold the man," uttered the voice in the mirror, staring me in the eyes. "Look at me, you damn fool, you are nothing but a lustful tool." I dared to gaze at the reflection. Slowly but surely I recognized the form, staring me in the eyes. It was a pitiful shape, that made my mind agape. I saw a hostile face, bearded and untidy, staring me in the eyes, observing me penetratingly, giving me grief and misery. Then I noticed a tear seeping out, in slow motion, staring me in the eyes, hounded and pursued my feelings, exposing all my failings. At that moment I realized the truth. The reflection of the man, staring me in the eyes, was none other than yours truly, in full paramount atrocious glory. Following Dracula's footsteps, destroying all that will reflect, unfaithful mirrors and reflected glass, nothing will stare at me in the eyes, until into death hands I capsize. Bastards and bitches. The bastard, with the masquerading face, will never be gratified, nor he will be satisfied. The solution is to vanish without trace. The bitch, with the masked veneer, will never be contented, nor will be appreciated. She is manipulative and insincere. I'm always on the alert, what to say to the evil fraudsters. If I meet these vile boasters, will I face them, or will I divert? Piss off, you bastard, evil, showing on your face. I want nothing to do with you. You have fallen, mightily, from grace. Fuck off, you bitch, you're nothing, only a whore. Take off your mask, I implore, malicious face of a wicked witch. I'm not scared of your horrible doings, so, what are you trying to prove? That you're actually on the move? It's absolutely false, not true, that your life had struck you hard, leaving you seriously scarred. So change your lifestyle, both of you. Step in the right line, follow the path of kindness. Don't kid yourselves of being blameless. You're both destructive and malign. I said what I felt without twitches. I feel much better for it, although I don't need any credit. Just a farewell to all bastards and all bitches. In perpetuamente unum diem. Uninterrupted torment, for the unfortunate ones, like me, to suffer as always. The craving is so strong, consistently, trying to find us an explainable excuse to submit, constantly giving us shakes and stress, continually without giving up, makes us sweat, cause we are eternally addicted. Forever. An everlasting torment, for all time to come. Invariably, we succumb to it. As usual, we go into a perpetual oblivion. We keep repeating the same mistake, over and over again, because we are weak. We are human beings, unceasing our addiction, which we acquired innocently or purposely, without exception. The power of the craving stays with us forever. Unknown sarcophagus. Confined, without limited air, fondling the space of utter blackness, while the faint sounds of beating heart mingles with the smell of clamminess. Where am I ask, hardly breathing. Locked within for uneven sides, barely enough room to shift, like sardines cramped in a tin, having a pressing feeling within. Is this the place where I do the dreaming? Closed, against my will, having fears of going crazy, evading control of my sanity, squandering my true identity. Or is it solely my rude awakening? Curbed, sealed, restrained, barricaded, from living again, for wasting precious time, unable to find the meaning, necessitating my final way of escaping. Where am I ask, hardly conscious. My life concerto. The heart disconcerted, while the mind inhibited, the characterization unrestrained, writing a descant of discomfort, with notes exciting the mind, spiraling to be spellbind. My everlasting astuteness, glorifying my perceptiveness, the sole hope of insightfulness. I will be led by a symphony of gore, where the concerto will disillusion me, my madness will sing an aria to roar, the podium built in my heart extension, shortens the air that I breathe, I will be in a world of my own creation. My melody dies down, long live the master of demise, I am falling down into an abyss, I'm not fucking wise. I have witnessed my time of destruction, spirited away with no more feelings, my revenge has gone away, as did my destiny, and has my fantasy too. I have no time to free my soul, though I have lots of time to cry, but why should I? If I die? The fountain will be full with my tears, which I have shed without fears. I'll not cry when I'll be dead, I will laugh instead, I shall turn myself into a blissful thing, even though I was born needling. Am I so alive and vaguely dead, or am I dead and vaguely alive? My zone horror. The void that confronts my inner body, tightened so hard by a belt of sharp thorns, that makes me nauseous, feeling repulsed and unpleasant. My inner body divided in sectors, makes my sensitive feelings alarmed, apprehensive and overwhelmed. The trepidation, the dismal dreaded fear, which erupts within me frightens me shitless, I feel unnerved, terrorized and mortified. I call this awful state, my zone horror, where nothing and nobody can enter, understand or believe. My zone horror, filled with fear, consumed by terror, controlled by foreboding. Horrendous is the heart, when I'm half dead, living half life. Unresponsive. My 0 hour. My appointment hour, due imminently. I am in a critical time. The crisis I lived in, will soon be over. A sudden change is approaching, my moment of truth shall be revealed, the turning point must be, the most vital moment of my life. It will soon become clear. The dance of the skeletons is coming forth. Memento mori. Remember that well when you will die, ars moriendi. The art of dying, no fear of death. Not bloody likely. Anger of a madman. When things don't go right, and everything goes out of sight. I start to curse and turn about, I don't do the twist and shout. My anger boils over, my wife goes undercover. I lift up my hand and punch the wall, making every picture on it fall. My rage is overwhelming, then I start fucking swearing. When I disturb the neighbors, they don't ask me for any favors. With my unsocial behavior that is in motion, they call the police for their protection. I see the blue lights on their cars approaching, I hear the sirens loud and screeching. With the batons and handcuffs ready for use, they enter the house hearing me singing the blues. I'm restrained and taken to the station, arrested and locked up for the duration. A day in the life of an angry lunatic. The day begins normal but ends frantic. Not wise to witness this everyday occurrence, it is tenuous, irrational and without balance. In this normal day-to-day living, of one very angry human being. The day I died. I can't remember how much I cried when I found out she became a bride. That when my heart broke deep inside, that was the day that I should have died. I consoled myself drinking whiskey dry, that was the time all went awry. Did I believe in love emotion? Do I trust the creator of corruption? Do I believe in my spiritual console? Or is it just part of my mortal soul? I know that I'm still in love with her, which is like an incurable cancer. I knew that I had run out of luck, left in state of oblivion forever stuck. I believe the day I've surely died, in void in silence eternally petrified. For long years I've been on my own, existing in a desired illusionary zone. That's not how it should have been, wanting to be heard and definitely seen. Instead I was being psychologically murdered, banished from viewing, not even censored. On same day that I was killed, my faithful heart with love was filled. Though I tried to rise again, my mind, my soul wouldn't let me suffer the same pain. While I was feeling depressingly down, he placed on my head his prickly crown. Replacing me hanged on his crucifix, for services rendered and for my ethics. My judgment was adjourned, no verdict, no outcome, nothing returned. My mind was always in the lark, compiling requiems in the dark. For when the day I died, I stared to read my elegy with pride. My body fell out of living shelter, deep in the ground, confined in a callous chamber. I profanely arrived on a crevasse, there I was not allowed to intrude or trespass. While my chasm was filled with gratifying scent, I laid in void ground with sadistic torment. The skeletons around me started to glance, I wanted to join them, they gave me no chance. The dead tried to make me yield, but I inanely refused to be reeled. I don't recollect what was revealed, on the day I died only I was healed. And although I was only in one place, I found my Creator disoriented in space. I had no time to be a cynic, as the mourners brandished a candlestick. However, the devil is my only friend, through his bond I will transcend. It was like a blinding presage, my mind, my soul were full of rage. He was not born to be in hell, but I was there for my farewell. I was to be the sacrificial rite, standing high and mighty to excite. On the day my body perished, I had been downright tarnished. As I asked for some joyful news, I've been told I was out of use. Down into the sacred tomb, enjoying the atmosphere of unrelenting gloom. Up above me my spirit screamed, my phantom cried and my ghost schemed. Thrown into a sullied abyss is what I hated most, by the exploitation of Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. For when the day I died, left alone among the bugs, forsaken and decried. Now I'm gone and exiled forever, completely fucked for my endeavor. Love made easy. Languishing to be attached with another person is very hurtful. The closer to the person they become, they feel absolutely weary and dreadful. The longing for someone to give a passionate cuddle, the yearning of kissing somebody, mouth to mouth, tongue to tongue, makes them angry, bitter and sometimes brutal. Drives them to incorrigible behavior and highly unstrung. The miserable life these kind of people lead, because of unrequited love, causes extreme dismay. Love made easy, you will only be kidding yourselves, don't stress too much, it will only lead you astray. The year is dead, long live the new year. The final chapter of the year terminates, while an unfinished episode of the new one begins. The traumatic and harrowing past events will come to be history as our world spins. Whatever happens is another mysterious matter. Nobody knows or can predict our future, yet if we could rely on the abhorrence of our hearts, we surely know that viciousness will not be an intruder. There shall be more wars, killings and animosity, they shall come on us with much force and velocity. George W. Bush, Clerihew, the 43rd President of the USA, highly popular but not with all, remembered for his gaffes and flubs, but care for his people overall. Worthless. In acrostic form. We always known each other, over thousands of times we met, repeatedly in our dreams, to simply wake up disillusioned. Hesitancy was our downfall, lives decayed without each other, ending sorrowfully, surrounded by worthless beliefs, severely crushing our true love. One truth. I sat erect on a hard chair, calm and completely relaxed. I don't think I was sad that night, there wasn't the faintest trace of anger, not a slight. All I did is looked in void in an empty space. I will never forget the silence that surrounded me, my face kept staring at the nothingness. However, I knew there was no forgiveness. There is only one truth and only one lie. I always wanted to be exempt, I always wanted to have exceptions, hiding all my deceptions. This was my self-guided system, which was one-sided only. I must have realized that I had to carry the guilt, because of the damage caused by my filth. I know I cannot be forgiven, not for all the foolish things I did in the past. I knew I had to be freed from my sins, before my life ends and another one begins. Now I don't understand life anymore, I haven't understood living for a long time, my guilt is very strong and dreadful, I've been childish, selfish and disgraceful. The day of wrath is at hand. For the day of wrath, I will yell, the grotesque heaven, is waiting, to take me to the wide antechamber, of hell. There I will encounter, the master of darkness, around, I shall feel magnetic spell, the wonderful sound of the exquisite, pensiveness, of the souls that fell. The old prophecy is coming, my new belief, enhanced. The hallowed hidden truth, the day of morning, the day of night will disperse, the world in ashes. His angels, and effigies will be waiting, will protect me, from the old God, who has been found wanting. The old one is now trapped, in cold heaven, that resides, in the secluded sepulchre, waiting, for his demise as he's beaten. Fear of heavens, will cut out all. The ancient and boring God, has now been broken. The mighty expressions of the saved souls, now residing, in their assured haven. So appealing, charismatic and alluring, will be the inspirations, for my heart and mind, the trepidation, of this great majestic King, will gladly and freely save me. I am worthy of my redeeming, from the agonies of ancient, and primeval beliefs, which trapped me, into a world of disbelieving. The descendants of Satan, are united, in a new era of the virginal power. The bitterness of silence is incorporated, the forbidden secrets of the infernal, by intense feelings, are exhilarated, which will suck up, the darkness, from our jubilant minds, pitied and restricted. The chaos of stability, will take full control, and will enchant, our enriched wisdom, from developed seeds of our darkest soul, while the heretic outcasts of heaven, will devastate, the earlier earthly goal. We will become, like wolves among sheep, in a weak herd upon their raw and inflamed soul. Let us fight, the good fight, and may the power of death, remove, those who are reluctant to incite, for the sake of their kingdom, belonging, to the Lord of the fright, mocks the priest, who preaches justice, for he is the worst of the contrite. The might of the unholy spirit, arises, it will reproduce, in abundance. This ungodly creature, who amazes, with their eyes that glow in the dark, searching, among networks and mazes, who are rebellious and outcasts, and will actually become wretches. Angels of darkness, we have become, to haunt the weak and capture their spirits. We are mysterious beings, living in whoredom, taking the form of the profane icons, staring into the jealous eyes of God who became lonesome. Satan will strike violently into the earth, where in his new kingdom, everyone is welcome. Behold the King, who is the wonder of wonders, the master of the horn, the healer of the repelled souls. Enter the darkness, with your new chancellors, unconsecrated, spirits from the heretical sites, exploding into a blazing fire of demonic colors. The burning effigies shall strike into the heart of the pious, and shall burn forever in all corners. For that which is written we shall rejoice, the strong winds will carry Satan's voice. I say out loudly, I have listened to the inadequate cries, gazed deeply into my devil's eyes. The Lord of Darkness is awakened from his eternal sleep, and I can hear the Father, the Son and the Ghost weep. Note: whoredom as unlawful sexual relations. How beautiful it is! How beautiful it is to hold you in my heart, so that darkness will vanish, giving me light. How beautiful it is that I sleep and wake up, knowing that you are with me through the night. How beautiful it is to talk to you in my dreams. I feel uplifted with the sublime love that you give me. How beautiful it is that our love redeems. I feel comfortable to know that from guilt I'm free. You are a symbol of compassion and happiness, the true way of our mingled yet complicated lives, the truth that sometimes is drowned by cruelness. My life, my ardor, my heart with love it thrives. How beautiful it is to dream about you all the time, dreaming about your great love for me and nature, contemplating about the simple life you have lived, yet a life that did not change my future. How beautiful it is that the sun rises every morning, the moon appears in many shapes at night. How beautiful it is to believe in the original dawning, it shows that in my wisdom my heart is filled with light. How beautiful it is that time will come for my demise, how beautiful it is to be born and yet to die, how beautiful it is that I don't have to express any goodbyes. How beautiful it is that for my life I shall not cry. How beautiful it is that I am what I am. Love unexplained. My kisses gives her solace, it keeps her mind at rest. My devotion towards her is full of strength, and our love becomes a breast. When I thought I was dead, I was haunted by horrible dreams. Now that I am still amongst the living, my illusions are full of screeching screams. We are one and never twain. Our love is easy, yet very hard to explain. I have to forsake myself and my heart, they are both fakes through and through, false promises, pretense and deception, a miserable rotten life of things untrue. My true love gives her little hope, the times are gone of peace and leisure, while feeling the strong thumping of my heart, she submits into dreams of carnal pleasure. Love is not easy to understand. The representation of what I most detest is the awkward way of the unexplainable, which leaves me angry and distressed. We are forbidden lovers, our affair is not easy, yet we find ways to keep our pleasures. A cacophony to hypocrites. I do not surrender with those who contradict me, I shall not argue against those who criticize me, I hold my face up and shield my behavior. I shall emerge victorious and hold them in contempt. To them I shall wield my intelligence, against those who destructively criticize me. I am not your enemy, I am just a writer of words, take heed as my pen is mightier than yours. You may seek my demise, attempt to disgrace and shame me, but I am strong, brave and above all filled with love. To those who mock me I demean and I shall expose their smear. May those who plot to ruin my character be damned for all times. I am like the wind that blows from the north. I wipe out all trash that appears on my way. I do not capitulate easily. With my truthful words I will drive all hostilities away. My path is bright and stable, while theirs is dark and slippery. Whether they expose their lies without cause, then without cause I shall attack them severely. They may try to ruin me and overtake me by surprise, but I'm on the alert for their vicious tongues, and with their tongues they shall fall into the pit of shame. My heart shall rejoice and my satisfaction shall be complete. Dichotomy. Luxuria, lust. Asmodeus, demon of lust, carnal manipulator, sexual captor. Castitas, chastity. Embracing virtue, honorable wholesomeness, not through one's weakness. Gula, gluttony. The egocentricity, with which the Lord of the Flies, upon us relies. Temperantia, temperance. Practicing restraint, prudence to judge with regard, remaining on guard. Avaritia, greed. The mammon demon, controlling the warmonger, with vows of power. Caritas, charity. Crave unselfishness, give unreserved empathy, love and sympathy. Acedia, sloth. Deny grace and God, so evil shall become fact, when we fail to act. Industria, diligence. Fortitude is a must, persistence in conviction, zealous for passion. Ira, wrath. In its purest form, presence violence and hate, Satan's fate. Patientia, patience. Mercy to haters, receiving the grace to forgive, rewards are massive. Superbia, pride. Lucifer's downfall, for excessive vanity, destroys humility. Humanitas, kindness. Sympathy without bias, belief without bitterness, inspire kindness. Invidia, envy. Resentful passion, an insatiable desire, potent cause of dire. Humilitas, humility. Think of yourself less, and not think less of yourself, don't exalt oneself. Note: this is made up of 14 senryu, based on the 7 deadly sins, as opposed to the 7 virtues. The magical world of perdition. Abracadabracabum kaboom, presto. Pops up the illusion, sending catastrophic messages, to the mind of confusion. Now you see it, now you don't. I control the magnificent psyche, without anybody realizing, submitting to the manipulation, from the start of the hypnotizing. Abracadabracabum kaboom, presto. I am magician of conviction, displaying images without concern, kidnapping the mind of contradiction. I am in control of the will, succumbing to whatever I desire. I am the charm of evil, contributing to the hell on earth. I am Hitler, an ally of the devil. Abracadabracabum kaboom, presto. And the twin towers have been destroyed, by the malevolent of my sedition. I am Bin Laden and the Americans I hated. With my obnoxious judgment, and with precision planning, I trained and guided the disciples of damnation, sending my enemies directly to hell. Abracadabracabum kaboom, presto. I am the nuclear intimidation, of many things to come, manufacturing Earth's destruction. Abracadabracabum kaboom, die. Nothing is left after the creation of doom. Sorrows of the soul. She will never see a tear, even though my heart never stopped crying, because she is so far away, leaving me fighting with my sad yearning. One day, her hand will reach my eyes, wiping all my exploited tears. Only my demise will make me forget all those manipulated fears. I've given her my heart, long time ago, everything, from my love's affluence, but she gave me only sorrows of the soul, condemning me to a damaged existence. A weak heart. A weak heart, life gave me one. I hoped I can cure it someday, though I'm not a miracle maker. I'm sure I will find a way. I am after some agonizing treatment, waiting for the right medication, which is very rare, scarce and unobtainable. Medicine of love will be the right solution. Too anxious to hear my heart ticking, the response of a healthy emotion, longing for some affection to mix in with established fondness potion. The heart is weak but recovering from some emotions which are scarce. The sentiment is due to make an appearance, followed by excitement to do the repairs. Pure lonely heart, life gave me one, waiting for love to enter, and provides it with some fun. Unjustified condemnation. Neglected life, due to carelessness, owing to indifference, and to forgetfulness. Deserted existence, due to withdrawn companionship, owing to protected alliance, and exposed relationship. Abandoned from living, discarded into ashes, dumped without concern, forsaken by striking lashes. Mistreated by consciousness, abused with morality, victimized through ethics, molested by integrity. Ignored by the soul, due to unseen personality, overlooked by the inner essence, owing to the insulted mentality. Forgotten love, derelict compassion, disregarded benevolence, without care and consideration. I was deleted without explanation, erased with unjustified condemnation. Cogitus ergo est. Cinquain. Ponder, so you may live, you'll start to reason, you surely think therefore you are, a bond. Ill-fated soldier. I begin telling his story? I can start by stating who he is. He's the one who got it all wrong, since his will was never strong. He was there from the beginning, his body and soul became apart, his tired body was weak and it vanished, while his corrupt soul evolved and flourished. His heart was a moving heart, had great times facing his future, though he never ever rejoiced in his life, exalted himself as a soldier of Lucifer. Can he join this brave mercenary? If he does, will he be lonely again? Will it fill him with hope and grace, or will he be doomed insane? If he loses his purity and goodness, will it hurt when he fights for the cause? His heart also is a moving heart, but it will also bleed by Satan's sharp claws. Although I came to the end of the story, I never said who is this unfortunate soldier, even though I'm sure you sussed it out. The ill-fated man was I in the future. Dead alive. I'll know, the way my story is told, my anxiety grows, with every memory. The truth is it does not hold. I sincerely thought it was history. I will try to forget about yesterday. What I've done, I shall not do again. Instead, I'll only concentrate on today. Otherwise, it will leave with so much pain. What is the point, crying over spilled milk? My past is another country, I will not visit again. I can see clearly what is cotton and what is silk. The memories are too much, they bring on strain. For the love of my morbid living, I will forget. Goodbye, my sweet tender horrible visions. I will have no more anger, no more regret. I shall have no more nightmares and illusions. I am no longer full of dread, in fact I am absolutely dead. In silence. In the silence of night I watch the sky, admiring the radiance of the glittering stars. I wonder if their peace complements ours, or like our planet they to exits in wars. In the silence of night I watch the sky, realizing how our hearts deliberately lie. A day in the life of a lady. I saw the bride immaculately dressed, kneeling at the altar with the groom, smiling slightly with much excitement, her shining face a rose in full bloom. I noticed the lady heavily pregnant, waiting for the fruit of love to arrive. For long days and nights she anticipated, her awaited newborn will surely thrive. I observed the mother holding the child, proudly and with so much adoration, look intently at the nurse apprehensively, the baby receiving the first inoculation. I noticed the lady walking with the infant, her eyes full of joyful and caring tears, at the start of a kindergarten day, for the infant's first educational fears. I glimpsed at her ironing the uniform with pride, hoping for the benefit of primary schooling. She wanted all that is best for her child, giving her full support to achieve the finest learning. Now she is worried as the adult child goes away, miles away to a special university that was chosen, promising herself to make daily contacts with the one and only important precious person. She saw her child immaculately dressed, kneeling at the altar waiting to be married, reminding herself how all this began, and tears of happiness her eyes emptied. Ungrateful bitches. The moon looked spectacular that night, dominating the millions of stars far and beyond, flickering. Like the sparkle I had in my heart, that night I drifted apart. I was to meet my destiny in the fullness of the dark, where the enemies in their secret places hide. Do I gaze at my future and see my fate, the same fate I've grown up with since childhood? If I do, I will certainly stagnate. I wonder if the moon will be spectacular tomorrow, ruling over the millions of stars far and beyond, with the now distinguished sparkle of my heart. My life was crushed widely apart. All over the sky for everybody to see, I'll tell my crowded mind of the painful deed that awaits me with anxiety and doom. Tomorrow shall enter like a fool rushing in, though I am sure that my body will be in tomb. I will be buried with kind sublimity and extreme care, there will be tears in their eyes, maybe. I will give no excuse about my living anymore. I'd rather see them choking than crying makes their eyes sore. Hypocrites shed crocodile tears. Conquering my wish, I will accuse those ungrateful bitches, who with their empty pockets haunted me like ghosts, combining their lust with their confusing mentality, which caused my turbulent love life to flee from reality. Let's love. Love is all we need. Let's love all that is hateful, and reject all which is spiteful. We used hate to conquer love, instead we lost our hearts. Where there's loving, there's no suffering, we'll cry joyful tears of adoring. Let's cry together, for the love we have, let the smiles and bury the hate we crave. Love is what is required, let's love all that love demands, so that our heart with joy expands. In love, our hearts are fulfilled, there's only love in sight, diminishing all that is not right. We'll cry bitterly, if hate is permitted, let's cry, with pleasure and with gratification, let's put revulsion into our detestation. Once, we are loved and in love, where love's kingdom presides, where peace is love's reign, compassion will remain. Raining love, all over us, soaking us, throughout, will give us the hope of affection, which will be cured by devotion. Let's love, because love is all we need, let love be our therapy, and we'll succeed. Where our time is, where our place be, love is there, flourishing everywhere, while hate will occupy, somewhere, inside, it print words in our minds, seducing our hearts with revulsion, with odium and aversion. The battle will commence, love will fight for its defense, hate will keep on the offense. Let's use love to crush hate. Let's be free and not stagnate. Let our compassion conquer our loathing. As for me, let my love remain wanting. 7 Ways to Hell. This hell, waiting to be better explored, allowing me to investigate my past ghost. Although I struggled in my stressed life, I can't blame the theories on my generous host. When the little devils whispers in desire, my gullible ears listens to every promise. Their leader appear in a burning flame, smothering the corrupted souls of the demise. I see wrath strolling cheerfully among the hostilities. I notice gluttony exposed in shady faces. I witness sloth in places of occupation. I perceive pride dancing around in elegant poises. I observe greed amongst elected mentors. I watch envy burrowed deeply in the hearts. I detect lust in every corner of our lives, vices which are suffocating and choking us to our deaths. I can only hope that when my end comes, because my fellow humans, it will definitely derive, I did not succumb to the capital evils, condemning me to a morbid hell of a drive. In the end, my hell is my life, willed by me and created by nature. For all our days, submitted and indulged, I guaranteed a tremendous future. O death! Death my love, I am nothing but a fool. I don't have to be frightened of dying. The manner in which I live every second is a one-way ticket to my passing. Death my sweet, there is no alternative future for me. I wished you from the moment I started to cry. Don't let me stay too long in this ungrateful living. Just say the word and I will instantly die. No matter what you'll decide to do, O death, I will always stay devoted to you. Beguile. The fascination is beyond truth, since the inspiration is concealed under the innocence of their youth, until the reality is revealed. The charisma is not always inspiring, as the affection could be misguided, taken for granted and surely contriving, and its truth will be unfounded. The absorption of our mind is complete, while their captivation is enhanced by the tenuous attraction of discreet, as the devotion becomes enhanced. Enthralling the heart and soul, not very difficult to achieve, since the charmer played the role, and nothing is left to retrieve. Clock ticking. Stop. Don't tick, you frighten me so. Ticking, a cruel rhythm without end. This dreaded feeling digs within me. Tick-tock, tick-tock, my time is up. I said, stop, you bastard. Fucking clock on the wall? Leave me alone, leave me in peace, until my condemnation comes, and I In Search of a Pessimist. Collected Poems by Alfred Vassallo.